Yeah,
Well, we got three, you can hold meetings.
yeah.
All right, so we're online.
We got a couple minutes yet, I guess. 3 minutes.
Let's go.
Good.
That gentleman come in the office to see you this afternoon about abatement in the other building?
Yes,
How was your getaway?
yeah.
He called me out in the parking lot as I was walking
Okay.
around. He's asking me, I said, go in there, Smith Construction. I think you might find Kurt, he's the engineer in charge of the project.
Yeah, we've got a couple
You know?
people putting in proposals for that, so.
I just never.
But he got me because I got my plans and I'm walking the parking lot. I'm looking, I'm going, yeah, okay.
This guy must know what he's doing.
Anyway.
Well, the
but we
guys
took
are looking
time.
at me because I'm sitting there reading the
There was some
plans.
big storms out there and so we weren't able to do some.
Well, I know how to read the plans.
There was
That's
this
the
area
difference. I know what I'm
called,
looking at.
Flats, which is in Ithaca and it's like,
Well, we're getting there, if there's progress.
it's like the river.
Yeah, I like
flows
the
down
grade
and
on the
there's all
other
this
side, the little-
limestone, and so
Yeah, it's
there's-
gonna be
like
interesting.
flowing,
Well, they'll
but
get
there's
it.
like
Once they
Yeah.
can
building
backfill, they
water
can play
from
around
out
with it and
here.
massage it a little
So
bit.
it's so
I know.
much fun for the kids to play.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like the
It's
height
not
of the
like
building,
water,
but
it means, you know, storm water, you're kind of like, this is like.
Yes.
But
What
it's
can I
like
say?
super fun. But we couldn't.
gave him the authority to build it that high.
Once it's there and finished, you'll love it and
No, I won't.
won't think about it
No, I
again.
won't, because I gotta look at it. I live just up the street.
I know.
And Jason and his.
And I'm looking at that height, and I imagine what the one in the back is gonna look
Nice new plantings, nice new parking lot.
Oh my goodness, are you serious?
Yeah. And my dog doesn't like other dogs. And so now when
I
they
like to
come
go up and
visit,
strangle,
we gotta deal with that.
hay company up there, because all that rain,
I-
the other day, all
But
that
it's
dirt
really
and everything,
Oh,
that-
yeah.
It's just
their
that-
parking lot washed right down into my driveway.
Oh, that's
Now I gotta go out there and clean my driveway tomorrow. I'm not very
Well,
happy.
and then like.
It was rough out there.
Well, you're lucky you're not over Mayapack. That lake
We
overflowed,
got a puppy
Lake
actually
Mayapack
March.
overflowed.
Did
Did it really?
That came out to
Terrier.
Route 6, village
I
area
just remember, I
there.
had a Boston for years and they're just great dogs.
Yes, they have a lot of energy.
But they're snuggled.
Lucky we're not in Orange
They're like
County, I mean, West Point took them beating
It's
on
like a
roads.
cat.
Well, Vermont's getting really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about the, how about that
Yeah.
dam? Is that dam still,
I don't know, last I saw it was getting close.
I know, if that goes, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
They gotta try to
Yeah.
relieve water, I don't know how they're gonna relieve it.
And
Where
when
they
we
gonna
first got
relieve
him
it,
as
so.
a puppy, he was really snuggly and.
And the goat trail is closed, which is nothing
Yeah.
unusual.
But
When
within
I
a
saw the
week-
water
Oh, within a
pouring
week.
over
Yeah.
the.
He
I
was.
used to hate driving over that road.
Crazy.
Wow.
Which
And
was
he's never
funny.
gone back?
No, now he's.
Seven
he's
o'clock.
getting older. He's
No more talk about puppies.
Mm.
I said, no more talk about puppies, Vin.
Yeah.
We gotta move on to.
Yeah, my son. A silver lab.
Oh, silver.
Yeah.
You got a silver lamp?
Something I have.
Oh boy, look out.
Well, that's my son, he's upstate New York, far away from us, so.
They get big.
Yeah. But they're fun dogs.
All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, welcome everyone to July 11th, 2023 meeting for the planning board. Viv, you want to take roll?
Peter Pinelli,
Here.
Louis Sella.
Here.
Jean Millard is not here for today, and Rob Pfister.
Here. Lou.
Ready.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You guys had a chance to review minutes?
Yes.
Previous meeting?
Yes. Make a motion to approve?
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Polling comments,
Okay.
you're on deck.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay. Why I'm here tonight is just to present a concept of an amendment possibly to the site plan approval for Pawling Commons. Primarily for the reason of getting additional parking on the site and also possibly some better circulation around the buildings. So I think we're all familiar pretty much with the existing site plan that was approved. So basically you come in, you can park here, you can go around the building, come around here, and for the most part, come in between the existing two buildings and circulate out. This is a narrow pass in the back of this building here. So, and then we have this land to the north. So what we're proposing to do, and this was 110 parking spaces on the existing site plan. So what we're proposing to do is actually extend into this area a little bit here, eliminating this access point between the two buildings here, come around, widen the passageway behind this building to 24 feet wide, put parking along here where we've got boulders. Come around this building, you can circulate here, here, and around the site. We basically pick up some green space for the tenants for the building in here. We get a loading space. We have multiple dumpster locations that we can get in here. And we have a net gain of 40 plus parking spaces with this. So why I'm here is try to gauge interest from the board here to see if we should move into full engineering plans and bring this further or whatever.
Well, I don't see how anybody can turn down parking in the village, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it's a pretty good idea.
And this is basically, I think this is a bunch of boulders that when they did the excavation.
Yeah,
out
yeah,
here,
yeah, I saw that.
They
last
dropped them
week.
over in here, so we're
Right.
pretty flat up in here and then it drops down beyond.
So that's just gonna require just some
Just moving those
moving,
rocks.
no more drilling.
Yeah, I mean, there might be a little tapping here and there.
Yeah,
but-
nothing like the last one.
No, not for months.
And how much land do you own north on that?
It's, here's the property line here.
Yeah,
So,
variances are not in question.
no, we're really, okay, we should be on that,
Yeah.
I would think.
Use the board first before I let you. Peter, do you have a?
No, I walked the site today, I was just looking at the rock on the right side over here. Hopefully it moves easy.
Yeah, I think it's, looking at it, it looks like it's just a bunch of large boulders that they moved there when one or both of those buildings was built. We've done test holes over here. We can get down pretty good in the back of this building here, so we can probably put some underground drainage structures in here to help the drainage issue before it gets released to the system, so I think that would be an upgrade as well.
Retention ponds in there,
Yeah.
like you're saying, underground.
Yeah, those Cultec units that will go underneath, so.
Right. Try to divert any of that that's been a problem for Fairway Drive and
Right.
just hopefully avoiding any future issues there. I mean,
Well, I like the idea you're closing off in between the two buildings. 'cause
Yeah, I mean,
too narrow.
it's always very tight there, so I think if we can just work on getting this to be a more viable circulation path around here, that would help things.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the green space that you're providing there in that area that was formerly parking for.
Yeah, we're actually made the building a
tenants.
little smaller here, because this is the existing footprint. It's a little wider here, but it doesn't really work in the floor plan layout, so we actually, basically the same footprint, but just squeezed down in there, so it gives more green space. And
Now,
also,
I'm sorry, the traffic flow naturally is not enforceable. Is there room on the north side for car if they go against traffic and there's another car coming down?
it's 24 feet wide, so
Oh, that's plenty.
you've got,
That's plenty.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so you've got that. I think we were trying to keep the one-way flow here, because that was part of the site plan approval we have right now, just kind of
Right.
coming around this way, but
Right,
you
right.
can come in this way.
Yeah, it would be nice to see the one-way direction for, obviously for the lights for
Right,
the neighbors
just
on
going
that,
around.
on the south side.
And now, since also the bank, the bank is gone there, and we built that gable structure over there, maybe that could become part of an outdoor dining area or whatever, if that becomes a restaurant, so potentially this end of the building maybe could be some outdoor dining.
How do you feel about the backside of that building? I mean, that's pretty much just like, there's doors, right? That's kind of service entrances on the backside through
Of
that?
this building here?
Yeah.
Well, right now, they open right into the travel lane,
Right.
so we're proposing like a 5-foot sidewalk and then have that travel path, so you do have some buffer area, so when you open that door
Right.
in the back.
Now, you anticipate that parking over there to be mostly for the tenants, do you think? Or is
I
that
think
gonna be
probably
for
maybe
commercial?
employees,
Right.
most
If
likely we
you
park in
have,
the back.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but if you put it in the back, like you say, back parking there, like you're saying, your employees can park in the back of the building.
Correct, That's what we're
Now
thinking.
it opens up the front for front parking.
Correct. So, and
Because otherwise, right now, you got employees parking in
right,
front.
so we can park here and come around and come into the building.
Mhm.
We'll have keys to those back doors, so we can come in the back doors of those.
Because that's what it is right now, your employees are parking in front to come to work,
Right.
and you're taking parking spaces.
Right, so we can move that all to the back of the building.
Conceptually, it seems like a good idea. I think this, for the most part, what do you, what are your thoughts, Karen?
I don't object to it offhand, I've just got questions mostly at this point.
Mhm.
So, tell me again who the adjoiners are on each side, most importantly, I guess, to the north.
The north, this is the Catholic Church actually to the north here.
And is that an active church?
The church is actually over on East Main Street.
That's the rectory.
That's the
Right,
rectory.
the rectory's here, the church is kind of over here, the rectory's here, there's a couple apartments along here. So I'd say the rectory's maybe over here.
Okay.
So it's quite a ways away.
So there's a good amount of
Yes,
buffer
there
between.
is.
And what's the, what's the range of the lawn area from the, the northernmost side of the parking?
I'd say this is, okay, so that's 20, this is probably about 20 feet or so here, but this actually, it rises up and it drops down. There's
Okay.
yards in the back here. I think the houses are more towards the front here on Fairway.
Yeah, topographically, it's like there's it's kind of a big hill there to
Yes.
the north.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Catholic Church?
I think the Catholic Church is kind of over here.
Oh, it
The
is.
rectory's here.
Right, okay.
Johnny Amateur, there's a couple apartment buildings here, or
Yeah, there's a couple of houses right there.
Right,
Wait, where's north? Sorry.
north is this way.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay, so from an adjoiner standpoint, I'm assuming you would add additional landscaping, right?
Yes.
Than what's shown there now?
Yeah, this is just concept only,
Concept,
yes.
got it. Okay, let's see what else. So in terms of the stormwater, so you're proposing underground detention, and so obviously you have additional impervious here.
Yes.
And is the underground detention different? I don't recall what you had in place for your previously.
Basically, there's no underground detention. Basically, there's a catch basin here, here, and it goes to the street.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no detention really on site. So this would give us the opportunity to get some on-site detention.
Okay.
Well, water on that site runs into the street, or into the town drainage.
Yeah, it goes
water.
down into here and then down.
Right.
So is the detention because you need it per the general permit or per the village's code, or just out
I
of
think it's
desire?
kind of across the board.
Okay,
Because I think it'll make the site better as well
okay.
by handling that.
And let's see, what else? So why do you need more parking?
Well, I think it's just a function of, we're thinking about and seeing sites that don't have enough parking or whatever. And I'm not saying we wouldn't have enough parking, but there's the opportunity to get more parking. And, if you do get these apart, because we're like one per unit, I think, really. So it allows us actually to have additional parking for guests and whatever might come in there, because if there is a restaurant in there that has a higher volume parking requirement, we have the capability to do so. So I think anything that could give us a little bit more parking on the site, since we have the availability,
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense.
How many units are there, Kurt, on the whole?
I believe there's 53, let's see, 36 and 15, sorry, 51. There's 51 units.
And then the total commercial is?
It's the first floor of this, so it's half of this is 8,000 there, and this is about 13,000, I think. On this
21, and then so it's about 34 total?
Yeah.
34 units? Is that what you-
34,000 square feet?
Oh,
That's 13 and 16, so.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
about that.
yeah. 13, 16, and 8, right, did you say?
8 on here, there's no. This is
Oh,
all
okay,
residential.
you confused, this is
Yep.
only half?
Half, yes. The rest is like a gym and whatever for the residential use.
Oh, I see, okay, I see, so 21.
Yes. So basically split.
So you got how many apartments, you said 30?
50, 51.
51 apartments, figure 100 cars. two cars still in park.
So we have 110 on the approved site plan. We're proposing probably closer to 150, 155.
Not saying you're gonna get 100 cars, but that's the way you gotta think, cause every family has 2 cars
Right.
now.
Well, so we're trying to be a little bit forward thinking. We can build it per the approved site plan, but we're bringing it before the board to see if we could all benefit from the potential for more parking.
What's the distance, like walkable distance from that site to this area?
So basically, here's the site here. We're over here. Catholic Church is over here. CVS is on this corner right here. So it is walkable.
You're only
Very-
you're very close to CVS.
It's very
You're talking
walkable.
about like a quarter mile or?
No,
yeah,
it's nowhere near a quarter.
Yes,
No,
it's not
Sorry,
even,
guys, I
it's,
just-
no, it's not
Okay.
even, so,
It's,
once you get to the intersection where CVS
It's
is, you
about
take a
300.
Yeah, I
right.
know where it is, I
So
just
it's-
don't know the feet.
It's
only about 1,000
It's all very close, so you,
Okay.
cause I
So
walk
could-
down into the village all the time.
So
to my
it
office.
could really provide for additional village center parking?
Correct.
Okay.
If there's some event or something, maybe, yeah, we could do
And
that.
that lot has been used for that frequently in the past.
Or Mizentop does
Yeah,
something,
well,
or
for flyer,
whatever.
the carnival
Yeah.
and stuff like that, you know.
But I know sometimes the tenants don't wanna share their parking and would put up signs, so, you know, it might just be something that we kinda consider as we move forward. You know, if you wanna provide the possibility for people to park there, you know, I don't know how we work that out, but, so, tied to this is that as part of your previous approval, you sought a waiver,
Mhm.
right? And so
Correct.
we justified the waiver.
Yes.
Based on the fact that, commercial use was, challenged at the time,
Mhm.
and, you know, we didn't think we need the parking. I see that you have a potential outdoor dining space here.
Right.
So is it, what's changed in that building
It
since-
was a bank
It
here in this
uh-huh.
year and a drive-through.
So that bank's closed now?
Yes, they're gone.
Okay, so
And-
now possibly it could become a restaurant?
Possibly, I mean,
Yeah.
we have the structure there, so it makes sense to think about that.
Yeah.
Not saying that's what will happen,
Right,
but.
you don't know,
Right.
yes, I understand. Okay, but obviously restaurants need parking.
Yes,
Yes,
correct.
Okay. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so I saw that 67 had gotten smaller, and I
Mhm.
found that interesting. Obviously it's for the open space, so can you just?
Well, it's just a function of the way that we're kind of central, the layouts of the units.
Mhm.
We have central corridors here with units flanking either side.
Yeah.
The extra width of that just made it, you need to get the windows to the windows. So
Uh-huh.
it just made the units extra deep and unusable,
Uh-huh.
so since the building's coming down anyway, we'll take advantage of not going any larger than the footprint, but making it a
Right.
little bit smaller.
Right, so you have to stick to the footprint because that's part of the historic approvals, right?
Correct.
And so now I understand the genesis of the previous design was derived just from, it was the footprint.
Yes.
And you didn't wanna limit yourself, but now you've come to greater detailed design, and you see that this is a more realistic footprint for
Correct.
residential units. And do you find that to be true for the commercial development on the ground floor as well?
Yeah, I think it's fine because we actually, we have a central corridor going through here with the residential amenities in the back, and then these rear loaded corridor for service entrance and then all these front units. So
Okay.
it's a doable size for the potential units.
Karen, did you ask about runoff on the, because wasn't there an issue about runoff? I'm looking at the houses on the.
Yeah,
you know,
so-
really-
So there's a catch basin here now, which actually has attenuated a lot of the problems that Sunset had. It picks up drainage here and runs it to the front. So we're looking to actually upgrade that system and potentially put some underground drainage structures in here, which actually assist the whole drainage on the site.
Because those are those backyards to those, and I know.
These are all backyard, the houses are along Sunset here.
Oh,
These are all-
Sunset, right.
Yeah, these are all the backyards here. And I think that issue has gotten a lot better for them. Haven't had any complaints about it.
So
Really
for
flooding.
underground detention, you do have to excavate, obviously. What's your soil like in that?
We've
area?
done some test pits here, so we don't have rock. We
Uh-huh.
get down about, I think it was like 8 or 9 feet. We probably want to bring this back corner up a little bit, just grade wise,
Mhm.
too, just so you're not dipping around the back, as you dip around the back and then come up. So we have good, decent soil back here. And this is all gonna be fully engineered too, if we get to that point, so.
Let's see. So for your lot building coverage, we kind of touched on this earlier.
We're under on both of those.
You're under on both of those,
Mhm.
okay. So it doesn't seem like you need any variances offhand. Those were the only two that I thought
Yeah.
to check. But obviously you'll confirm that.
Yeah, but I think that we are good with that.
So the area by the bank, by the former bank to the right there on the north side, is it proposed to be, so yeah, the connection between the two accesses, is it proposed to be one-way or two-way there? Seems like it makes sense to keep it one-way.
Right, that was our idea, that it's kind of a one-way circulation around
Yeah.
here. This is kind of like the two-way around the central portion, and then this would be a kind of a secondary circle loop
Yeah.
around here, and then we do have this exit point here too,
Okay.
that's existing.
So yeah, lots of dumpsters in multiple places, which I can understand for the convenience of the various buildings.
Mhm.
I've been working on a project recently where we received criticism that we had dumpsters in various places.
Okay.
And there was, you know, the idea of should they be centralized
Mhm.
to kind of minimize the gross effect of a refuse enclosure. So I just put that out there for everyone to think about. Obviously, it makes it inconvenient for one or the other, you know, entity, but, you know, refuse enclosures have to be enclosed, obviously, with something, and then it's best if they're landscaped, but, we might just consider whether it makes sense to combine some.
Yeah, we could think about that. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to think about, you know, a truck circulating, and
Yes,
also the
yes.
ease of someone bringing a drippy bag
Yes,
of garbage and
yes, agreed.
putting it somewhere.
Yeah,
The residents gonna want their garbage by them.
I.
Yeah.
Truck all the way across the park.
Just wanna bring it up.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, okay. What about propane tanks? I have a note here.
They'll
There is
be,
one in the back.
well, they're existing kind of like here now, we'll
Mhm.
have to relocate them
Okay.
somewhere.
Should think
And-
about burying.
And these buildings here, these will all be electric, so this is the only building that has propane, and that
Okay.
services that.
Okay.
You could bury that tank if you had to.
Mhm.
So, the amendment of the site plan provides an opportunity to readdress landscaping,
Mhm.
and lighting.
Mhm.
So just wanna put that out there. I think, you know, we didn't, because your prior site plan was approved, and the changes that were sought didn't deal with lighting or didn't affect that, we didn't really take a hard look at that as part of
Mhm.
the last site plan review. But we did take a look at it, and we
Yes.
thought it was actually underlit in
Okay.
some places.
Mhm.
So we will be providing greater guidance on,
That's fine.
on what we think
Sure.
is acceptable lighting.
Yeah, because we want this well lit now, and
Yeah.
back in here and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, in fact, it was stuff like, you know, at the entrances and
Yeah.
then sidewalks, so I mean, it was stuff that's,
Yeah.
you know, I think you would find that you would need
Yes.
ultimately. Yeah, so you know, those are my main thoughts so far. The stormwater part, we should definitely have, you know, Ed Larkin's group look at, because I don't do stormwater, since I'm not an engineer.
Mhm.
I don't have any other questions?
Yeah, we're gonna have insight engineering looking at the site plan into this.
Any other comments? Dave, you have any other comments about this?
No, I don't, no. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's somewhat of an improvement to the site for what you're trying to do.
Well, I think that's important to kind of get that feedback, to know that, you know, conceptually, the board is kind of behind this, and that we can move to the next step and, you know, develop it further.
I mean, one of my only concerns, even with the last one, was trying to separate that residential and the commercial parking so they're not fighting over
Yeah.
spaces
Mhm.
and to some extent. And how much, I don't know, the residents would want.
Well, I
Going
think,
to the commercial spaces, parking like in the back and the front's taken by the residences, and just trying to channel some of that parking to like some type of orderly manner.
yeah, we might be able
All
to
the uses.
isolate, you know, some of these blocks, as this would be like residential, because this wouldn't be of much use for the commercial uses, since this is amenities. They can go upstairs, maybe, you know, this block in here, we could isolate and make that for the residences only, and maybe leave the central portion to a free-for-all and
Right,
that
or
type of stuff.
guest parking in the back.
Yeah,
or
something like that, yeah, we can talk about
So
that.
Kurt, I guess mean, these are residential lots, right?
Yes, correct.
So, I mean, that, if there was anything that was gonna be controversial, I think it would be the neighbors and whatever, that's a pretty thin.
I think most of those houses, these are
Pretty-
pretty deep lots.
Okay.
And I think the houses sit,
Yeah,
they're
I
not
think you're-
close to
no, I
that.
think you're right. I think I
Because they
walked
go
by
up
it.
high and then kind of come into our lot.
Well, what, just maybe give thought to.
Of course.
Screening and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think
Extra-
we had put
extra-
some evergreens back in here, but we can expand that and have a nice evergreen strip around here to give them good.
Possibly a fence too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't,
right,
I don't see where
right.
that would be a
And I-
problem.
I think what I've found most people tend to like is the fences in the development
Yep.
and the evergreens are on the other side so that I mean, maybe you have
There's
evergreens
not
on
people
both sides,
wandering
yeah.
back and forth and whatever.
Well, and also because the joiner doesn't wanna look at a fence, they wanna look at evergreens,
Right.
so. All right, I have a little curveball here, so the site, the urban regulations are applicable to this site?
Okay,
So now we're changing the parking,
yes.
so now you gotta look and see if it complies with what the urban regs say about
What
parking.
Well, that was changed in 2014 to make it sort of like the planning board assesses the
Okay,
situation.
oh, this was this local law,
Yeah,
okay, thank you for
yeah,
reminding me,
yep, yep.
and that we have,
So
we
It
can.
really gives a lot of flexibility.
Nice try.
Hey, I'm just trying to,
I still
just
think
trying to
you'll
cross
take
everything off
the
the list.
building.
Yep,
Too high, but what can I say?
It's it's limited to the B1. so,
okay.
yeah.
Great, I'm glad we got that out of the way.
35 feet in the air already, and the roof ain't even on.
Okay.
Hey, did you hear him drop the beam the other day when they dropped it, when they were putting steel up? Set that crane up where he was gonna kill that guy.
Oh, I didn't, that was a big crane.
It was a big
That was a big
Yeah.
crane. Yeah. All right, so forge ahead.
That's my vote.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll come in with.
You mean that sort of, you don't mean you're voting, you just mean.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Not, I hate
like
this,
the
and-
concept and everything, yes.
Right.
Right, this is
You need a
sketch plan
motion,
conference.
then I make a motion that he goes with his proposal here.
No.
Yeah, this is just
No
a,
motion.
yeah, this is a sketch.
Yeah, I think we can take what we've talked about here and
Yep.
have that as part of our next submission, our formal submission to the
Right.
All
board.
right. Then you come in with a little better sketch. You got a good sketch.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is just kind of to get the discussion going, so. All right,
Very good.
all right, thank you all.
So when are you tearing down the other building?
Once we get the asbestos out of there, there's not a whole lot, but once we get that out of there, get a demo
Should we talk
permit.
about escrow or?
For this,
Yes.
if he's gonna submit an application.
I will
a
be
full
doing it.
application, then sure, I guess, to speed things along.
Well,
he
I
wants
mean,
to start
let me
reviewing
know what it is so I
sooner
can
than later.
soften the blow to whoever needs to pay it, so.
I think we talked about doing that, right, accelerating that, not waiting, so we're not kind of behind the eight ball.
Yeah, I mean, it helps, I mean, the sooner you get escrow in, the sooner Karen's gonna start reviewing whatever you submit, we're not waiting.
We need to give,
Um,
we need to give them some.
I mean, seems like there's gonna be quite a bit to review with the, like, stormwater and everything else that's going on, I think 5,000 at least, it's
Okay.
just.
So you need
get the ball
5,000
rolling.
coming in with
Plus
the,
the one from Ed, 1,000 from Ed.
For-
Or the engineer, for the engineering part of it, Ed Larkin.
Okay.
so is that
So-
encompassed in the 5,000 or is that?
No, that's in addition.
What was that for, Vivian? I heard his name, but I didn't.
Ed Larkin?
Yeah, that was for something he had to review, I know.
Right.
Yeah,
Engineering.
engineering.
Is that, I mean, do you know it's 2,000, or is that just, you're guessing, guesstimating?
I know it's 1,000. He told me it's 1,000 for him.
Oh, to do the engineering on the parking lot?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're gonna need $6,000, is that what you're requesting, setting?
Well, I don't know, where do you think you would be at, Dave? with-
I honestly, at this point, I don't see a lot, but I don't, depending on the meetings, I'm gonna be going to the meetings and, so, I mean, yeah, a couple of thousand probably, with,
Now you're up to 8.
Well, no, I was thinking, Joe, I thought
that's
that
part
Karen
of
was
the-
gonna be.
Well, what are you, Karen? Are you 5 or?
No, I started at 2,500.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of
We
getting.
got 35 to 55, 6,000 to start? We can replenish.
Let's do 6.
Okay.
Let's get the ball rolling.
6,000 with the application. Okay.
You're cheap, go to.
Sold.
Go to
Kurt,
go to
just
8,000.
for the, so we have this, you know, the statute that's on the books now about the reasonableness of professional fees.
Mhm.
Sort of reversing the concept plan. I mean, you have the right to have an assessment done. That was a rough assessment. I mean, if you want to agree to that and basically waive your rights to appeal that would speed up the process. You know what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
other words, there's a very kind of detailed process for setting these fees, and you have the right to, you know, challenge that and appeal it, and so.
I mean, right now, if it's 4,000 or 6,000, I don't think it makes that much difference right now.
Yeah,
if we-
so basically, we'll probably have some kind of a waiver of some kind, just so that we don't have to worry about, you know, after the fact, somebody challenging
Okay.
the escrow amount.
Yeah, I mean, it's just based on hours spent on it, right? And whatever,
Oh, yeah,
if
no,
time
it's not-
isn't spent, we
That's
get-
how we used to do it, and then we got, you know, then there was, you
Okay,
know, challenges to that,
okay.
and now we have different statutes, so.
All right,
trying
well, let's
to come
go
up
with
a
that to
way
start with, and that.
Yeah, if you're comfortable with doing that way, you can, as long as you acknowledge that you have those rights and you're not,
Yeah.
you know, you're comfortable not.
That's fine.
Because it's basically supposed to be what's reasonable in the area, you're probably more familiar than anyone about that, you know.
It's all over the place, so. it's-
Well, that's right.
Yeah, pick a town, any
Yeah,
town,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, if we can start with that, that'd be great,
All right.
okay?
You don't think you got much asbestos in that building?
There's not a whole lot, it's just little pieces here and there that they just have to take care of, so. It shouldn't be a long, drawn-out process and a big hazmat site, so.
There's not much left of that building.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's weird where they find things.
Yeah, well, you can figure you got pipe wrapping, floor tile.
Mhm.
Floor tile's guaranteed asbestos.
That Donaldson up at Lakeside Park, they found it in the wallpaper paste. That's
Yeah.
where they found asbestos.
Really?
Right.
So, yes, so.
Yeah, you'd be surprised where it is.
It's, you never know. Okay,
Good night.
thank you.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
Do we have, old business that
Do
we
you
have to
have what?
discuss? Any old business?
No, not really. 28 Walnut Street is basically the same as last time. I know, SHPO received the application,
Right.
but other than that, there's nothing new with
I
that.
didn't do nothing.
And I guess you guys are in, discussions with 146, the restaurant?
Well, I don't really wanna talk about that here, Lou, that's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's.
I was just hoping that we're making some sort of
Yeah,
progress on
yeah,
that.
Yeah, so.
All right. Is there any other escrow that we have?
No,
Right.
28 Walnut Street does owe us, but it will be here before
Our next meeting?
the next meeting, yeah.
All right.
All our escrow accounts are up to date, or
Yeah.
we're still behind? Oh, okay.
No, all up to date.
Sounds good. That was a very painless meeting.
Yes. Motion to
Can I get a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Good night. See you, Dave.
Night.